know they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep passing. But they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Salam alaikum, alaikum wassalami. Salam alaikum, say na based on we want. But no be Muslim, it's not a Christian. And we're there for Bible, make we kill ourselves. Salam alaikum, alaikum wassalami. Salam alaikum, say na based on we want. But no be Christian, it's not a Muslim. And we're there for Quran, make we bump ourselves. They come from Shad, they want on with terrorists. Come from Niger, they want on with terrorists. Every day by day, them are bombing our schools, killing our youth, say we know they happy. So they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep passing. But they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Prophet Muhammad is the road to Allah. Prophet Muhammad know they give for Allah. In the preach peace to the unbelievers, change your ways and turn to Allah. Prophet Muhammad is the road to Allah. Prophet Muhammad know they give for Allah. In the preach peace to the unbelievers, they can change our ways and turn to Allah. The wages of sin, say my brother not dead. Wages of sin, say my sister not dead. Repent and have a life, make you feel back our guests. Now we know they happy. Know they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Know they use Allah, what could they
Sahara Productions.
They use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep passing. They use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Salam alaikum, alaikum wassalami. Salam alaikum, say na based on we want. But no be Muslim, it's not a Christian. And we're there for Bible, make we kill ourselves. Salam alaikum, alaikum wassalami. Salam alaikum, say na based on we want. But no be Christian, it's not a Muslim. And we're there for Quran, make we bump ourselves. They come from Shad, they want on with terrorists. Come from Niger, they want on with terrorists. Every day by day, them are bombing our schools, killing our youth, say we know they happy. So they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep passing. But they use Allah, what could they keep people? Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Go around them, they keep people. Allah is great, you know they keep passing. Prophet Muhammad is the road to Allah. Prophet Muhammad know they give for Allah. In the preach peace to the unbelievers, change your ways and turn to Allah. Prophet Muhammad is the road to Allah. Prophet Muhammad know they give for Allah. In the preach peace to the unbelievers, they can change our ways and turn to Allah. The wages of sin, say my brother not dead. Jesus say my sister and them. Eventually friends and have a life make you feel bad. I want guess now we know they happy. No they use a lot of work to keep people. Allah is crazy, oh they keep person. Go around and they keep people. Allah is crazy, oh they keep person. No they use a lot of work to keep people. Allah is crazy, oh they keep person. Go around and they keep people. Allah is crazy, oh they keep person. No they use a lot of work to keep people. Allah is crazy, oh they keep person. Go around and they keep people. Allah is crazy, oh they keep person. No they use a lot of work to keep people. Allah is crazy, oh they keep person.
Olodo, I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security Forum based in the United Kingdom.
Joining me live now to discuss this further is terrorism expert and author Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by security analyst Temi Olodo. Good morning, Temi.
Ladies and gentlemen, my people, to be man, no be by muzzle, to be man, no be by plenty bia. Okay, what do you know about security will concern your life, concern your family, and concern your community? How much about politics will concern you, and even concern the politics you know about? You want know more? You want sabi as they go? Oh yeah, now introducing Temitope Olodo. Yes, Temitope Olodo. Now the man wey sabi pass sabi. Temitope Olodo na professional and he get plenty much experience as a security guru. Anything or any matter wey concern security, leave am for am because na him be the baba. Temitope Olodo na diaspora community leader with better experience for community leadership. As a political scientist, Temitope Olodo don study and understand the political space and he get over 20 years of news analysis with exclusive interview with top professionals at the top. I mean them the oga gang where they at the top. Yes, ke by ogbonge family. Shine your eye, open your ear. Temitope Olodo na the man wey sabi. Oh yeah, na as they hot.
My name is Temitope Olodo. I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security Forum based in the United Kingdom.
Joining me live now to discuss this further is terrorism expert and author Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by security analyst Temi Olodo. Good morning, Temi.
Ladies and gentlemen, my people, to be man, no be by muzzle, to be man, no be by plenty bia. Okay, what do you know about security will concern your life, concern your family, and concern your community? How much about politics will concern you, and even concern the politics you know about? You want know more? You want sabi as they go? Oh yeah, now introducing Temitope Olodo. Yes, Temitope Olodo. Now the man wey sabi pass sabi. Temitope Olodo na professional and he get plenty much experience as a security guru. Anything or any matter wey concern security, leave am for am because na him be the baba. Temitope Olodo na diaspora community leader with better experience for community leadership. As a political scientist, Temitope Olodo don study and understand the political space and he get over 20 years of news analysis with exclusive interview with top professionals at the top. I mean them the oga gang where they at the top. Yes, ke by ogbonge family. Shine your eye, open your ear. Temitope Olodo na the man wey sabi. Oh yeah, na as they hot, as they come on smoke. Temitope Olodo na security.
Hello, my people. How are you today? My name is Temitope Olodo, preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security. I felt it was important to, get involved in the conversation that is ongoing at the moment. The arrest and detention of the former deputy president of the Senate of Nigeria, and there is a lot of conversation, a lot of issues that have been thrown up, within the social media space, and it's a serious issue. I felt it was important to throw light on it as somebody that understands this atmosphere or that particular issue, a little bit. And I believe this is quite controversial. 'Cause I'll be saying some things that are quite interesting. So what I need you to do right now, I know it's midnight. I need you to get your coffee because we're going to be speaking for roughly about 20 or 30 minutes, but be explaining and throwing some very, very important questions into the mix that would more or less shock you and get you to start thinking about the kind of country that we live in Nigeria. You understand? So, but before we go into it, let me share a video with you because it's quite important in this when we're in this kind of situation that you more or less share information, at least explain what you're doing, so people could really understand what is happening here. So watch this video and make of what you think of it.
Boy, who's the centre of the case, cannot be named for legal reasons. We can, though, identify the two people who are accused of exploiting them. They are Beatrice Ike Ekweremadu, who's 55, and her 60-year-old husband, Ike. Now, he's a very well-known figure in Nigeria, where he's a lawyer, a senator, and a former deputy president of the Nigerian Senate. He held that position for 12 years. The couple are charged with conspiracy to arrange or facilitate travel of another person with a view to exploitation, namely organ harvesting. Now, the Metropolitan Police said in a statement that their investigation began last month when they were alerted to potential offences under modern slavery legislation. The boy himself is now in care and has been offered continued support. The accused couple, although they live in Nigeria, they do have a family connection to London. They were in court for less than an hour. It was then adjourned for 2 weeks. The reason for the adjournment is that the Attorney General has to rule on jurisdiction in this case because, of course, there are two countries involved, Nigeria and London. So they'll be back in court on July the 7th. A bail application was turned down, so they've been remanded in custody until then.
I need you to listen to something that is. I need you to listen very carefully because this is where we're going to be. Our conversation is going to be coming from. The British became aware of an offense that is likely to be committed. So listen very well. The police are aware that there is an issue. For those that are not aware of what is happening here, the allegation is that they brought in a minor who they claim is an adult, brought him into the country to give kidney to one of their daughters. Yeah, that is the allegation. We're not saying what is right or wrong here. That is the information in the public space. Yes, and now the police got involved. They allowed them to pay the medical bill. Yeah, they brought the guy in. He was tested and didn't even match. And then, according to the story, and I'm going to be playing another video. According to the story is that when he didn't match, now it's time for this guy to go back to Nigeria. He said, you know what? I'm going to claim asylum. Put his hand up and say, I'm actually a minor. I'm not actually as old as that. Now, listen to what they've said here because they said the Attorney General needs to look at issue of jurisdiction because where did the crime occur? There's a lot of crime involved here because if the guy is saying he's a minor and is using an adult passport, that crime was committed in Nigeria in the first place, which is forgery of an instrument from Nigeria. Yeah, so that's the first point. The other point is that he came into the UK. He has not actually, that incident has not, that harvest has not even happened. They've not harvested anything yet. What's happening is that it was not even compatible in the first instance. Now, I could not understand the life of me why he would even leave Nigeria in the first place without even him being tested to see if it was compatible. That could have been done. But of course, the UK government, the UK hospital, we want to milk everything they want to milk. Get their money first before arresting him. Let's not even go into that because but listen to this again very carefully because this is very important. Listen.
boy who's the centre of the case cannot be named for legal reasons. We can, though, identify the two people who are accused of exploiting them. They are Beatrice Nwanika Ekweremadu, who's 55, and her 60-year-old husband, Ike. Now, he's a very well-known figure in Nigeria, where he's a lawyer, a senator, and a former deputy president for 12 years. The couple are charged with conspiracy to arrange or facilitate travel of another person with a view to exploitation, namely organ harvesting. Now, the Metropolitan Police said in a statement that their investigation began last month when they were alerted to potential offences under modern slavery legislation. The boy himself is now in care and has been offered continued support. The accused couple, although they live in Nigeria, they do have a family connection to London. They were in court for less than an hour. It was then adjourned for 2 weeks. The reason for the adjournment is that the Attorney General has to rule on jurisdiction in this case, because of course there are two countries involved, Nigeria and London. So they'll be back in court on July the 7th. A bail application was turned down, so they've been remanded in custody until then.
Okay, Calvert, thank you.
Thank you very much. So now let's go into the conversation itself. So the situation here is that the former deputy Senate president have been accused of trying to harvest, the kidney of a minor. Now, remember, him claiming that he's a minor is very important in immigration law, means that he does not have control of himself. So he couldn't have given consent. Yeah. Now, how is the deputy Senate president implicated? Is implicated because he wrote a letter. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about him. Then I'll go into the controversial issues, because I feel if we talk a little bit about him, I want to draw some things out and also talk about the jurisdiction issue, because like I mentioned earlier, the Attorney General need to look into this issue. This thing is going to blow. It's really going to blow, and I felt I need to talk about it because in the next few days, some of the things that I'll be talking about are things that lawyers will be talking about in full detail, because a lot of people, Nigerian government need, for the first time, the anti-corruption crusade of the president will be called into question on this matter. And it is my hope that if Mr. President wants to salvage, if he really wants to salvage his reputation, with the award given to him by the African Union as the uncorruptible president running an uncorruptible administration, the president needs to do certain things. Certain people will need to leave office within the next 24 hours in order for him to be able to prove to the world that he can't do slow daddy here. All this go slow. He can't do it here. And I'm hoping that if you know anybody that knows the president, that knows his age, they need to send this video to them right now, because I'm going to be highlighting some truths. I'm going to be bringing out some issues here which would more or less shake the very foundation of Mr. President's corruption agenda, because there is a serious issue here that we need to look at, and I'm going to be picking them one after the other. Of course, the reason why I might be able to think about it that quick, that many people might not be able to think about it that quick, it's not that I'm trying to boast, but it's because of my knowledge of the immigration rules, a little bit of my knowledge of the immigration rules. So I'll be dropping that in. So let me share this presentation with you. Yep. So hold on. I'm going to share. Where were you? Yes. Okay. Let's go this way. Hold on. So I'll be sharing with you. Okay. Hold on. Now you'll be seeing I'll be doing a presentation on this because I felt this is where we need to start from. The issue here that we're going to be talking about, we're actually going to be talking about the modern slavery issue that have been raised by the UK government, and why are they raising that issue. We're actually going to be also talking about the jurisdiction issue that have been raised as an issue by the Attorney General of the United Kingdom. We're also going to be talking about Nigerian corruption institution, the corruption within the Nigerian institution itself. I might take it from the back to the front because I think it's important to highlight that. But who is this gentleman that we are talking about? He's actually a Nigerian politician born on the 12th of May 1962. So he only had his birthday recently. He hailed from Enugu State, and is of an Igbo extraction. That is quite important because he's from Southeast Nigeria. And in fact, the video that was trending this morning, or within the last 48 hours prior to his arrest, was his advice to people of the Southeast extraction not to vote, literally not to waste their vote on Peter Obi, who is the presidential candidate for a political party in Nigeria. And he was saying we should not waste our vote on him. He's my brother, but don't waste. In a very polite way, but more or less saying that he had no chance. Of course, a lot of youth are crazy about Obi at the moment. So some of them have gone onto Twitter to actually say, karma has come back to you, but this is nothing to do with karma. He is a barrister. He knows the law. He has LLB, LLM. He was called to Nigerian bar in 1987. So he has a first degree and master's, in law from the University of Nigeria, and as a doctor of philosophy from the University of Abuja. So this guy is well read. He knows his onions. He knows the law. He knows about legislation because he is a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and one time deputy Senate president of the Nigerian Senate. He's been in the Senate of the 6th Assembly, 7th and 8th. So this guy is not a small potato. This guy has also worked for the Enugu state government, proud to coming into politics in 2003 when he got into the Senate. I mean, not into politics because he's been a chief of staff in Enugu state, and things like that. So he's well known. Now, there was a controversy a few years ago, roughly, if you want to say about roughly 3 years ago. He was attending a second annual cultural festival or convention organized by the Igbo in Germany when he was viciously attacked by members of the iPod who believed that he actually encouraged the entry of the military, or the approval of military in the southeast. Now it's important to highlight the importance of that because as we speak, two politicians have been beheaded in the last maybe roughly 2 weeks, have been beheaded in the southeast, and this is because there's a lot of controversy about the military being in the southeast, and a lot of these people, not iPod, because I'm not claiming that iPod is responsible. They've said they are not responsible for the sit at home and all those stuff. But whoever is the unknown government have come in and hijacked the whole place, and new politicians are not really safe. And if you want to know more about this issue of the beheading, then you could join me 8 p.m. on Saturday when we'll actually be talking about the politician safety and security in Nigeria, and actually talking about kidnapping issues and what is happening and the fear within the diaspora. But that is not a conversation for today. But this is one of the controversies that is ongoing right now as we speak, because 3 years ago, just roughly about 3 years ago, 2 months to it being its 3 years anniversary, it was beating black and blue, in Germany. And I know some of those individuals were actually put on the immigration watch list and all those stuff because it was really disgraceful what happened on that day. But this gentleman is a very nice man. Now, this is the letter, alleged letter that was written, because he said we can't confirm this. This is his own letter, as a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is a letter that said was allegedly written by him to the British High Commission in Abuja. How that letter was released is an issue. Again, these are issues that need to be looked into, because there is a breach, data breach here, because this letter was written to the British High Commission. So, one of the things that he should also be raising is that, personal letters like this, because the British High Commission in Nigeria is bound by UK law. So there's a GDPR law. So there are issues here about the privacy and his breach of his privacy for that letter to be released, except it's part of the court document, which is now in the public domain and picked up. But if that is not the case, you should actually be looking at this, because this letter should not have been released in the first instance. Let's forget about that. What matters here is they said, I am writing in support of a visa application by Mr. Akpod, David, who is currently having a medical examination for a kidney donation to Miss Sonia Ekweremadu. So Sonia, I assume, is the daughter of the Senate, the former deputy Senate or senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, was a former deputy president of the Senate. I don't know why it was rolling on my tongue. But the issue here is that he wrote this letter, and this is the letter that implicates him, because he's written that letter to support the application. Now, the question is, was he the one that completed that immigration form? Because if he's not the one that completed that immigration form, and if there is nothing linking him to that boy collecting the Nigerian passport, collecting the NIN, say, I'm not bringing out issues here, because if that boy is claiming he's a minor and is facilitated, which is the argument here, that he's facilitated that boy entry because he gave a letter of guarantee to that boy. The question now is, how will he know if that boy is a minor or not a minor? They must be able to show that he knowingly issued a letter, a false letter, for a minor to apply to come to the UK. So that boy must bring documents, or the people that have encouraged him to come out and claim asylum and everything must bring letter to show that that guy in the first instance was a minor, a 15-year-old. I'm not going to mention his name again, because again, he's in the UK, it's a minor, so I'm not going to mention his name again. And I do apologize that name was mentioned in the letter. But the bottom line is that the minor, as claimed now, is said to be a 15-year-old guy. So this 15-year-old guy got a passport as a 21-year-old. So this is where the controversy comes in for the federal government of Nigeria. The federal government, under the Ministry of Interior, so the Minister of Interior, Aregbesola, the former governor of Osun State, will need to come out now to explain how they issued a minor with a Nigerian passport. That passport, although I know one of our brothers in the media said that passport was obtained illegally. No, nothing can be obtained illegally. The word could be used, but it couldn't be obtained illegally, because it's not a forged instrument. It's not a forged instrument. I'm using immigration term now. It is not a forged instrument. That document is real. He went there, he did his biometrics, they took his biometrics, he went there, they took his fingerprint, they took his signature, he provided letters from his local government, he provided a birth certificate from the National Population census. So they themselves issued the birth certificate. So the immigration service was relying on the birth certificate issued by another institution of government, saying that this guy, which the UK government is alleging is 15-year-old, or is 15-year-old, is a 21-year-old. So the document issued by the population census says this boy is 21-year-old. So the head of that department, the name of the person written on there, those all of them should be arrested by the Nigerian police and questioned. And if indeed it is proven that that boy is a minor, they should lose their job and face an offense under the Nigerian Constitution for fraudulently issuing a birth certificate. Then we move to the local government, because there must have been a document from the local government, and other things, or he will have done an affidavit. If he had done an affidavit because somebody will have done an affidavit for him, because he done an affidavit maybe to prove or whatever. If there's an affidavit there, then the court that issued the affidavit also will have, because so you cannot see the length of, because this investigation is not just going to stop at he provided a Nigerian passport. Now, nowadays, Nigerian passport is linked to NIN. If that boy indeed just got the new passport, that passport must be linked to an NIN. So the NIN that issued him with an NIN, which will have appeared on his Nigerian passport, also that particular session, the head of that session also should be arrested and investigated by the police, and then it must be passed over for prosecution. So the Ministry of Justice must get involved. The Minister of Interior must get involved, because here these two ministry must get involved, because there are a lot of corruption that has gone on, because money will have changed hands. EFCC need to get involved, because money will have changed hands now, in order for all these documents to have been produced fraudulently for an individual who is now claiming allegedly that is 15-year-old instead of 21-year-old as indicated. Yeah. So you could see where the administration of President Muhammad Buhari is now being implicated, because he's leading an anti-corruption campaign that all these things are not happening under his watch anymore. So I'm expecting the Minister for Interior to come out and talk from an immigration perspective, why a passport was issued to a minor, what investigation. And this is not the one that you sweep under the carpet, because this is the reputation of the Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that is now at stake. The Senate also need to get involved, because their letterhead or their symbol was used. You see, the other thing is, you should not be, if he's writing a letter of support, he's writing a letter of support for this boy. He's saying there's enough funds. He's put his back account to support. So he's writing in his position as the Senate. I would have expected that he would have gotten a letter from this Senate to say, we'll confirm that this man is a member of. Then he could have written a letter on his own personal letterhead, just as an ordinary Nigerian, to say, my name is so, I work in so organization, and I'm writing a letter of support. That's why he should not have used. This is an abuse of office. The use of his senatorial position to write a letter for somebody is the only people that are meant to be writing this kind of letters are doctors and doctors and lawyers who are writing a character reference. He's not doing a character reference. If the person works in his office and is writing a letter to say, I hereby, as a reference, hereby confirm that this guy works in my office, that is different. You are writing a personal letter for somebody who is going to support your child, and you are using your letterhead in the Senate. That's an abuse of process. You see, no member of parliament in the UK will do that. See, and he's a lawyer, so he should know better. You see, these are the abuse that is going on. So I'm hoping that the Senate will send out a memo to all their members to let them know that writing personal providing, except you are doing character reference or working on official capacity, you should not be using your letterhead to be writing letters. No, it should be on an official capacity. You know, why is it writing letter personal for somebody that's going for a medical issue? You are not writing. If you are writing for your member of your constituency to say, this guy I know in my constituency as a senator, as a representative in the Senate, I'm writing a letter to support it. That's good, but this is for your family. You shouldn't be doing this. You should not be doing this. So this again shows you that people go through the four walls of the university, become a lawyer, but they do not allow the legal knowledge they have to help them. Because this is exactly what has happened here. It's put itself in such a mess. Now, even the Nigerian Bar Association should be, because there's reputational damage issue here. So the president of the Bar Association, should also be talking on this issue, not disowning him, but actually looking into this issue, because he's not been as a barrister called to bar. He's been figured in modern slavery, and as a result, called to Nigerian bar, and as a result, is put that the reputation of those noble organization into dispute. And for that reason, it should normally be suspended. In the first system, what they should say is, because of this ongoing issue, is currently being suspended. It cannot represent anybody, as a lawyer for the meantime while we carry out our investigation. So they need to carry out their own investigation to look at the fact that, okay, has it brought the name of the organization into dispute? Because everybody is talking about him having an LLM, having an LLB, being a barrister called to bar in Nigeria, in 1979 and all those stuff. Yeah. So that's an issue. So now, what are people saying? There's a lot of things going out there, but one of this one is quite interesting. So Ekwerimadu's daughter needed a kidney, so he said it. He's a very powerful, important journalist. So he said it. He said Ekwerimadu's daughter needed a kidney, so he brought in a 15-year-old homeless boy. That's the allegation now, with an illegal obtained passport stating the boy was 21. The boy was promised a better life. The former deputy president has now been detained on bail. So the case is going to happen, on the 7th of July. It's been postponed to 7th of July because there's jurisdictional issue here. Because if, like rightly said, if as highlighted by this gentleman, journalist, that he's an homeless guy, if he's really homeless, then they will have some evidential problem here. I'm not speaking as a son, neither am I speaking as a QC in the UK, but an homeless person, will he have a passport? How would they be able to prove? So I know the UK, what they will normally have done now is that in the immigration service, they will have taken him for a test. Since he said he's a minor, they will have taken him for a test to check his tooth. And from his tooth, I know how there's a way they do it. You can go and read it up on the internet. They'll be able to prove that he's a minor. And that is what they will use to satisfy the court, because there is no document on him at the moment to prove that he's actually a minor. But they are basing it on the fact that he claims he's a minor, so they will treat him as a minor. So I'm hoping that the lawyer that will be representing the deputy senate president will be asking that, as far as this is concerned, the individual in concern is a 21-year-old. They should provide evidence to the contrary, not just medical evidence, but his Nigerian birth certificate. And the Nigerian birth certificate will be showing that he's 21-year-old. Now, if he's really homeless, he will not have a birth certificate, because most of them don't have birth certificate. That is the issue these are the complications that are going to come in. So they're going to he's going to get one of the best lawyers. He has the money. And this case is going to go on. But it's going to create a lot of problems for the presidency, because the longer it draws on, the longer it's going to have issues for the president, Jagaban, That's the fact bearer for the APC. This issue is going to have a serious issue, because he also need to come out now and let us know what is his anti-corruption, stance. What is he going to do? How is he going to clean up, the immigration service, who are issuing passports to people who do not have the appropriate identity? Now this again calls into question the issue of the NIN, because if people are using double using understating their age, or not using their real name, then that calls to question the all the intelligence that goes with the document, with the issuing of that document. That means that intelligence needs to be questioned. So what I'm hoping for is that the Nigerian president will be uh, setting up a presidential committee to look into the NIN issuing, the security proof, to be able to convince Nigerians that this document is actually indeed safe, guided, and that this was just maybe a flick or just a little error, a little problem there, because there is a serious issue here and there are questions that we need to ask. The truth will be exposed. The NIN issue is one that needs to be looked into. The issue of the Nigerian passport that have been issued need to be looked into, where if the boy really indeed has a birth certificate, that need to be looked into. The role of those people that did prepare all the document that he needed, all the document that he needed. Are doctors involved? The doctor test him in Nigeria? Did they take his blood test? Did they know that he was indeed a minor, and they knew he was going as a minor abroad, and they did not raise any concern with the appropriate authorities? Those are all questions that need to be asked, and these are questions that would be asked, because these are situations that we know is going to cause serious issues, really, really serious issues. So we need to start asking these questions right now. That what is the solution to this issue? Now I know some people have left some comment for me. This is form, like this page, share this page. It is indeed a very sad situation, honestly. There's a little girl that needs kidney that is involved, and this boy might have been coached. We're not saying that he's been coached, but he might have been coached to say that he's a minor, because they said he wants to claim asylum. What is he claiming asylum for? What is he running from? He can claim humanitarian protection, because asylum, you have to be running from prosecution. Is it a state that is prosecuting him? They are non-state actors. Ekweremadu is a non-state actor. He might be a powerful man in the Senate, but he's a non-state actor. There is nobody that is after this boy's life, So I don't see how his asylum application will actually be successful. So what he will end up with is what is called humanitarian protection, and this will be under the discretion of the Secretary of State. So that I don't want to go into those immigration issues, because I'm not giving advice. I'm only just highlighting what the issue is. But if they were going to put him in an hostel and say, and I know his lawyers will argue that, if he returns back to Nigeria, but he could go to Rwanda, because Rwanda is not Nigeria, and he could go to Rwanda and stay in Rwanda, which I think is the right thing that the UK government should do. You can't come in. After coming in is only when your kidney issue failed. Right from the point, if you knew that they were bringing you for kidney transplant, right from when you go to the airport, that was when you should have put your hands up and say, I'm being smuggled. You didn't say anything. You ate in the hotel, you slept in the hotel, you ate good food. When they say it's time for you to go back to Nigeria, that's why you're now raising your hand. So there are questions that need to be asked. Is this an economic migrant? Is this somebody that is just trying to exploit the system? Because we know a lot of people that have claimed they are underage, and their age is actually adult. So I don't know what document that boy will have brought with him to prove that he's a minor, but the fact that he mentioned that he's a minor is not enough for him to be treated as a minor. So the UK government must have been looking into this. And remember, they said there was an issue of potential breach of the law from a month ago. He wrote his letter in December. So if it was issued a month after, that would be January. We're now in, what month are we in? We are now in June. So the issue then is all those money, all those money is spent in the hospital. They allow him to spend the money, allow him to come in, allow the boy to come in, allow the boy to stay here. They collected all the hospital money, and then you see these are part of the issues. Right from when the boy was coming in, if you knew that was the issue, you should have arrested the boy at that point because you have all the documents, you have the uh, the form, the visitors form that was filled, showing that he was coming for medicals. You have all the documents to do with the medicals in order for the immigration, the ECO as they call them, entry clearance manager to issue that visa. So was that visa issue on pretense? Was it an entrapment? These are issues that the lawyers will be looking at. That it was actually entrapped to come into the UK in order for him to be arrested. So those are issues. And then there's jurisdictional issue that will be coming in because if the offense was committed in Nigeria, why are you trying it in the UK? Because no offense has been committed yet in the UK because no kidney was harvested, because the boy did not even match it. So this issue, I'm expecting the Attorney General to fight this issue of Nigeria, to fight this issue, and they should join themselves into a party and ask for this case to be transferred to Nigeria, and then ensure that everyone involved are arrested. And this is if there's any one case that Destiny has thrown for the president, this is one case that the president could say, yes, I'm going to look into this case. I want to investigate this case, and I want to really look into it. If you are watching me right now, I want you to like this page. I want you to share this page and tell your friends that we're live looking into this issue. So let me, again, for the benefit of those that are just joining us, I want us to watch this video. Let's watch this one.
Who's the centre of the case, cannot be named for legal reasons. We can, though, identify the two people who are accused of exploiting them. They are Beatrice Nwanika Ekweremadu, who's 55, and her 60-year-old husband, Ike. Now, he's a very well-known figure in Nigeria, where he's a lawyer, a senator, and a former deputy president of the Nigerian Senate. He held that position for 12 years. The couple are charged with conspiracy to arrange or facilitate travel of another person with a view to exploitation, namely organ harvesting. Now, the Metropolitan Police said in a statement, alerted to potential offences under modern slavery legislation. The boy himself is now in care and has been offered continued support. The accused couple, although they live in Nigeria, they do have a family connection to London. They were in court for less than an hour. It was then adjourned for 2 weeks. The reason for the adjournment is that the Attorney General has to rule on jurisdiction in this case, because, of course, there are two countries involved, Nigeria and London. So they'll be back in court on July the 7th. A bail application was turned down, so they've been remanded in custody until then.
Okay, Calverton Keep.
It's quite interesting if you listen to the conversation and the reporting. This is a seasoned reporter saying that the jurisdiction issue is between two countries, the United Kingdom and Nigeria, not the United Kingdom and London. So it's a problem with all these guys, You're a journalist and you're saying United Kingdom and London. Is London as big as Nigeria? Is London a country? London is just a county, just one of those cities. It should be London and United Kingdom, but anybody could make that mistake. So let's leave it. Yeah, I could see that Mr. John has joined us. Thank you so much, sir. He said whatever might be the case, for the mere fact that the boy was illegally transported out of Nigeria into the UK, he has a legitimate right. Yeah, yes. You do have a point there. The issue here is, and the issue before the judge is for them to prove within immigration law if indeed that boy was illegally transported out of Nigeria. Because that is the point that needs to be proved. The allegation is that he's been illegally transported. If he's an adult, because the argument they will be giving is that he's an adult. But as you could see from one of my presentation, is that they said that it was a homeless boy that was picked up, and if he's homeless, I don't see how he could provide a Nigerian birth certificate to prove, because the birth certificate that will have been issued is the birth certificate to prove, because when he's going for immigration, going to apply under the what they call Appendix V, which is V for visitor. Appendix, going for that appendix. Normally, that was you know, yes, when he's going and he's applying other medical, they want to see his birth certificate because they will have to prove that he's an adult. So birth certificate was issued, Nigerian passport is issued, NIN is issued. That's the reason why I said that these are all issues that will become a serious, serious, serious issue. So we are looking at a very controversial issue that is going to really cause some real problem, and yes, like you rightly said.
To other news now. A Nigerian senator has been charged with allegedly plotting to harvest the organs of a boy brought to the UK. The 15-year-old alleged victim is now in care. Now, the accused and his wife appeared before Uxbridge Magistrates Court today, and Ian Woods is there. Ian, it's an extraordinary case. And what details emerged today?
There are very few details that we can bring you, other than to say that the 15-year-old boy, who is the centre.
So, like Riley said, who procured the document? So, the bottom line is, I'm confident that the Senate president's name will not be on those documents. That's number one. He's written a letter. He could have said he wrote that letter innocently. The boy was an adult. He was brought to him as an adult, introduced to him as an adult, and the boy brought all the documents, which of course he doesn't know about. They had an arrangement. What does Nigerian law says about organ transplant and organ issues? So if the Nigerian law does not forbid, the family member, because the issue is it now a family member that is issuing, or is it just a volunteer that offered to offer his organ? I don't think Nigerian law is advanced to that level. So you see, that's where the jurisdiction issue comes in. Because if this boy, who we're alleging now is 15-year-old, approached them or was approached by them because they thought he was 21 years old, and he told them he was 21 years old, and he provided document to prove he was 21-year-old, which is where the document issue is, and he completed the form and signed it. Because as an adult, he will have to have signed that document as an adult. So all that information that he filled into the document, into that UK application is null if they are saying that he's a minor. So he went there, they took his biometric, he signed. Did they use a lawyer? Who is the lawyer that they used to complete that application? That is a serious issue, because did the lawyer know, was he aware of those information, or was he the one that packaged it for them in an illegal way? I suspect that the protocol, that information will have been sent through the protocol in the Senate, because that's the way they do their things in Nigeria. All these big people, they will get the protocol to send it through their batch. So it will have gone under the Senate. That's the reason why I said the Senate needs to be involved in this issue, because they also use this letterhead there. Because see, this thing is so messy, so messy. So there is a serious issue here, and my hope is that this issue, as it unfolds, every one of us will start looking at it, because Mr. President's corruption crusade is now in question, because the immigration was involved in issuing him a passport that he was 21 years old. The birth certificate is 21 years old. Local government will have been involved, who completed the application form, the visa application form, just like Dr. John mentioned, who completed it, who escorted him there, who was there with him, all those things. So all those people, the Minister of Interior need to be involved. The Minister of the Attorney General of Nigeria need to be involved. And if those crimes were committed in Nigeria, like all this, we have about 3 or 4 crimes committed in Nigeria. The only thing that is committed in the UK is if indeed it is true, and it can provide document to prove that he was actually harvested as a minor, not as an adult. Did he record them? Was there any recording or anything? If not, then the UK Nigeria government could be arguing that there's a multiple of offenses committed under the Nigerian law, and for that reason, jurisdiction issue need to be discussed. And even if the judge should say no, he believes the jurisdiction should be in the UK, that could be challenged in the Court of Appeal. And then if the Court of Appeal looked at it and again does not agree with them, they could go to the Supreme Court, which is just around the Trafalgar Square area. No, not around the House of Commons, just by Westminster Abbey, just by the side there. It's there. I normally pass through there all the time. So those are issues. So this issue, if anybody thinks this case is just a slam dunk case where they will just say they found him guilty and then he goes to prison, it's not going to happen like that. It's going to throw money into it. They're going to use the best lawyers. There's some immigration lawyers there that would throw this thing out. They would throw this thing out so bad. The kind of complications and things they would throw into it would be, is this an entrapment? If they knew, why is it that they was not arrested from the onset? Why is it that they waited until after the boy claimed asylum? Because it was only when he claimed asylum. Because if they knew from the onset and the police have been involved, why did they wait till when the boy claimed asylum before? Is it that when this guy was arrested, that's when the boy claimed asylum? So you could see that there's a lot of issues here. Of course, we cannot discuss too much about this because it's now in the court. But there is no doubt in my mind, that this case is going to more expose a lot of corruption in the Nigerian system, from the immigration, to the people, the medical people who tested him and all those things that could have identified that he was a minor, but yet agreed that he was an adult, immigration service, police. There's a lot of people that will be involved, because for him to complete an application form, there's a lot of documents he will have included, and all those things will have to be looked at. So definitely, the Nigerian government need to get on top of it. By tomorrow morning, heads should be rolling. People should be suspended from their work. Don't leave people there. Suspend people and look into it. And even if the Nigerian government starts its investigation, that could be a ground for the UK government to suspend their investigation pending the outcome, because it's not for the UK government to prove that the child is a minor. It is for the Nigerian government to help them. So they will be approaching. Yeah, we'll wait and see if this case could be thrown out. Not thrown out for the jurisdiction issue that is being discussed now. And the Nigerian High Commission need to be involved, because both the 3 individuals involved, or 4 individuals, because there are 2 minors involved. There are 2 minors involved, the child of Ekweremadu and the boy who claimed to be 15 years old, and then the 2 others. So there are 4 Nigerians involved. So the embassy should be getting involved, because this is one of their citizens who is claiming that it's 15-year-old. So if the Nigerian government comes out and say, we can prove, or the document available says that this boy is 21-year-old, in comparison to what the British government is saying, they need to present that information in the court of law to prove that that boy is a minor. They need to prove it, because they have not proved anything. All they are talking about is jurisdiction issue now. And if there's a lot of issues or crime that have been committed in Nigeria before it came, just like the Metropolitan Police said they were aware of this incident before it came. So the Nigerian government could say, you know what, we're going to try this case, we're going to take it out of your hands and look at it. What then would then happen? The UK immigration can look at it and say, okay, because we reasonably believe that you have been involved in a fraudulent or supported a fraudulent application, we are putting a 10-year ban on you. They can cancel the visa that he has, and he will have a diplomatic passport anyway. Remember that he's a sitting senator, so he will have a diplomatic passport. So these are all issues that will come into play, because it will be holding a diplomatic passport as we speak. It will be holding a diplomatic passport, and God help us if the Nigerian embassy does not say that this guy, when he was in the UK, that his trip is a diplomatic issue. If they say that then there is a lot of issue here. Of course, then they will say, okay, there's a criminal issue here involved. So if it's a criminal issue, what do you do? If it's a diplomat, what do? You deport him back to his country. So there are issues here. There's a lot of issues here that lawyers, I'm hoping lawyers like Femi Falana, who is well read, and some other UK lawyers will be looking into this issue and discussing this issue in depth, because this could even create a rift between the UK, not London, as the journalist highlighted, the UK government and Nigerian government, because there might be a diplomatic issue here, because this guy is a sitting senator in Nigeria. He might not have immunity, but he's traveling on a diplomatic passport. He's an official. Is he on diplomatic? Was he on official business during this trip that he was coming? If they said he was, then who is the UK government to say he wasn't? Do they have enough evidence to prove that guy is a minor? Because the Nigerian government could stick to their gun and say this homeless boy is actually 21-year-old. This is what against those of the other people to prove that he's not. So they have to get medical examination. And even if they bring a medical expert, if they bring UK government, bring somebody to say that this boy is 50-year-old, they could buy a good doctor, consultant that will come and say, based on the level of his bone, based on the level of his eating, this boy is actually 21-year-old, or it cannot be. It cannot be. And when you're talking about criminal law, it's beyond reasonable doubt. It's not on the balance of probability. So if it's beyond reasonable doubt on a criminal issue, and there is an element of doubt that has been created in his age, then that case will be an issue. Yes, the UK government might grant him humanitarian protection. He can't get asylum because it's not the state. It's not dealing with the state here. It's a non-state actor that he had an issue with. It doesn't have an issue with the state. So his asylum application will fail, but it will definitely because of the modern slavery issue fall under humanitarian protection, and the Secretary of State might use that discretion, because again, with all the issues that is happening in the UK, this is also a cheap publicity for for the Home Secretary and for politicians, to show that they are tough on this modern slavery issue, But there's a lot of issues that is going to happen here, and we'll be seeing the UK government, coming out tough, but also but that's the argument, is that you say he's no more homeless. The moment is involved with so we'll see how it goes. What kind of money was paid into his account? Was money paid into his account or given to him cash? Those are issues that the UK government could ask the Central Bank of Nigeria to check if money was removed from the senator's account within the last few months, from that maybe November to now. What kind of money was removed? And if that money was money paid to facilitate this illegal act, and what does the Nigerian law say on the issue of giving organs? Because you see a lot of people come out and say he's homeless. Where is he homeless from? Because the guy is an Igbo boy from that name. I'm not going to repeat that name because of the issue of the father is in court, but it's an Igbo name. So if it's an Igbo name, who brought him? Is he a family member? Is he a family member that was brought and his kidney? Because if his kidney does not match, means that it's because he's not a family member. Why would they want to go and bring somebody that is really, really homeless, to the extent that he might even have some, because there are certain tests that you need to do in Nigeria even before he even started coming. So those are all issues that will be looked at. You understand? Those are all issues that will be looked at. Let us play that video once more, and then we could now go. If you have any questions for me, you could put it on there, and I will definitely try and make sure I answer your questions, that this thing has thrown open, and we're going to be asking ourselves on this matter, that this indeed is a serious issue.
Year-old 15-year-old boy who's the centre of the case cannot be named for legal reasons. We can, though, identify the two people who are accused of exploiting them. They are Beatrice Ike Ekweremadu, who's 55, and her 60-year-old husband, Ike. Now, he's a very well-known figure in Nigeria, where he's a lawyer, a senator, and a former deputy president of the Nigerian Senate. He held that position for 12 years. The couple are charged with conspiracy to arrange or facilitate travel of another person with a view to exploitation, namely organ harvesting. Now, the Metropolitan Police said in a statement that their investigation began last month when they were alerted to potential offences under modern slavery legislation. The boy himself is now in care and has been offered continued support. The accused couple, although they live in Nigeria, they do have a family connection to London. They were in court for less than an hour. It was then adjourned for 2 weeks. The reason for the adjournment rule has to rule on jurisdiction in this case, because of course there are two countries involved, Nigeria and London. So they'll be back in court on July the 7th. A bail application was turned down, so they've been remanded in custody until then.
Okay, Culbertson, keep.
Okay, definitely. There's a lot that we'll have to look into on this case. Definitely, there is a lot. There is a lot we're going to be looking at. What I want to do is I want to do justice to this issue. So definitely on Saturday, it will be part of our conversation. I'll try and get some lawyers in the house for us to look into the issue from Nigeria. We'll try and get look into the issue, because this is a serious issue. I really want to look into this issue and see if there are issues that we need to make our people aware of, and definitely I'll be trying to get a very, very important person to come and speak on the subject matter. Definitely next Saturday, this coming Saturday, in the next few days, 8 p.m. Join us live. I'll be talking about it. Now, I've said a lot on this issue. We've actually used an hour to talk about it. You can still watch this video again, but for you watching me, tell me where you're watching from. Thank you so much, and help me share this video, like this video, and thank you so much for watching. My name is Senator Ike Ekweremadu. It's a great honor and privilege to come into your living room and talk to you today, and look forward to seeing you on Saturday, 8 p.m. where we'll be discussing this issue and many more issues, particularly kidnapping in Nigeria. God bless you.
I'm a preventive terrorism consultant, author, and president of African Security Forum based in the United Kingdom.
Joining me live now to discuss this further is terrorism expert and author Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by Temitope Olodo.
Joined now by security analyst Temi Alonso. Good morning, Temi.
Ladies and gentlemen, my people, to be man, no be by muscle, to be man, no be by plenty bia. Okay, what do you know about security will concern your life, concern your family, and concern your community? How much about politics will concern you, and even concern the politics you know about? You want know more? You want sabi as they go? Oh yeah, now introducing Temitope Olodo. Yes, Temitope Olodo. Now the man wey sabi pass sabi. Temitope Olodo na professional, and he gets plenty much experience as a security guru. Anything or any matter wey concern security, leave am for am, because na him be the baba. Temitope Olodo na diaspora community leader with better experience for community leadership. As a political scientist, Temitope Olodo don study and understand the political space, and he get over 20 years of news analysis with exclusive interview with top professionals at the top. I mean, them the oga gang where they at the top. Yes, ke ba ogbonge